Name Manish Yashwantanika. Subject Derivatives and Risk. Roll number MB21093. Topic Swaps. Introduction. A swap is an agreement between two parties to exchange sequence of cash flow for a set period of time. Swaps are private agreement between two parties. At least one of these series of cash flow is determined by a random variable such as interest rate, foreign exchange rate, equity price. Characteristics of swaps. Exchange of interest payment on some notional amount. No exchange of principal amount. Converts the interest rate of an asset or liability from fixed to floating, floating to fixed, floating to floating. Allows the users to align risk characteristics of assets and liabilities. A swap transaction is a custom tailored bilateral agreement. Structure of swaps. Interest rate swaps, currency swaps. Interest rate swaps. It is the most commonly practiced and also called plain vanilla swap. Plain vanilla swap are typically an exchange of floating rate interest obligation for rate fixed rate interest obligation. Exchange of fixed rate of interest for floating and vice versa. Denominated in same currency or notional amount. Principal are not exchanged based on comparative advantage used to hedge against adverse movement in interest rate. Mechanism of IRS. Counterparty B floating rate, counterparty A floating rate funds, fixed rate funds. Use of interest swap. Hedging. A hedge is an investment that protects one finances from a risky solution and is done to minimize chance that your asset will lose value. Speculation. It involves trading financial instrument involving high risk in expectation of significant return. The motive is to take maximum advantage from fluctuation in the market. Currency swap. A financial contract or for principal and fixed rate of interest rate on a loan is one currency for another currency. Currencies are exchanged during the life of the swap at spot rate prevailing on the date of the contract. Features of swap currency. A contract between two counterparties, commitment to an exchange of cash flow over an agreed period. One counterparty pays a fixed or floating rate on principal amount denominated in the one currency. The other counterparty pays a fixed or floating rate on a denominated in the country currency. Banks act as intermediaries to eliminate counterparty risk. Use of currency swaps. Currency swaps have two main uses: to secure cheaper debt by borrowing at the best available rate regardless of currency and then swapping for debt in desired currency using to back loan to hedge against reduced exposure to exchange rate fluctuation. Swapation. Swap option. These are two different kinds of swapation. A pair swapation. In this, the purchaser has the right but not the obligation to enter into swap contract where he becomes the fixed rate player and the floating receiver. A receiver swapation is the opposite. The purchaser has the option to enter into the swap contract where he will receive the fixed rate and pay the floating rate. Thank you.